Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that will make you question everything. Yo. The future is now. Meta, Apple, Google, Amazon. The big four. Ain't no big three, it's a big four.
Okay,
I'm sure this is just nothing, but one of the comments was, she uttered his Manchurian candidate activation phrase. Watch this guy.
That's exactly how you have to have a certain amount of distance between the bodies in your high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed.
Yo. They ain't think to ask, like, you good, bro? What happened to bro? Did he glitch out? What was really going on?
Awesome.
So they got locks on ice cream.
Leaving. Oh my god, there's a fucking shipping container. How much container we were driving behind?
Oh my god.
I'm not even trying that container we were driving behind.
What's up with the green shipping containers? Look what it says, y'all. Give alcohol to those who are perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress. Let them drink and forget their poverty. Let them remember their trouble no more. Man, gotta give it up.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory around the Mandela effect?
About erasing history?
Yes. This woman gave the example of the Fruit of the Loom logo. She said the Fruit of the Loom logo used to have a cornucopia in it. So, you know, like the basket with all the fruit spilling out. Fruit of the Loom was like, we've never ever had that. And they went so far as to create an illustration of their logo all throughout the years, none of them showing the cornucopia.
That's impossible.
This chick went so crazy about it. Like, she was talking to her therapist, and her therapist is like, chill out about Fruit of the Loom. You're obviously so manic. She was like, I'm not kidding. It has a cornucopia in it, and I'm gonna die on this hill. She went through her whole closet and like friends' closets and stuff, and she finally found a T-shirt that had the Fruit of the Loom logo with the cornucopia.
No way!
And she went as far as to go look at the old like trademarks and stuff, and found an illustration of the cornucopia.
Dude, what is up with that? Why are they gaslighting us?
The theory is it's a giant experiment, worldwide experiment, to see how easy it is to erase history.
Yep.
I mean, that's 100% probably a real thing.
Yeah.
And they just had certain brands that opt up for it or something, or if they're like, you know, man.
So be stubborn.
For real.
Yeah.
It's Bernstein Bears.
I don't know if you know this.
Definitely be stubborn, man. Don't let them tell us what real history is. We kind of know. It's already here. And if you guys are questioning anything, go read the book 1984 and see what they do with history.
I don't know if you know this, but we're actually competing with AI for water.
Wait, why water?
Oh, you didn't know this?
Why water?
So because AI, whenever you put like a prompt in, right?
Yeah.
So say like, and there was a whole article posted by, I think it was like Daily News, and if you put in a prompt that says, can you make me an email of 100 like words, right? So this is the exact amount of water that it takes up. Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, boom. So it uses 519 milliliters of water.
For AI to write something?
For AI, only 100 words email.
But where does the water go?
Huh? What do you mean? No, because you know how AI has all the... It gets powered by water. That's what I heard.
Like water generators?
Yeah, water generators. Because all
like electricity?
Yeah, all the tech there's a bunch of tech in one room that needs that amount of electricity. So it's from water. So boom. So and now you think about it, look, it says ChatGPT has 200 million users. And if you do the math, if they all ask for 100-word emails, that's 207 million liters of water per day. And that's on the article. That's not including Google. That's not including Meta, because Meta's using it now. None of that. That's just one person asking it. Oh, yo, write me an email real quick.
But that water wouldn't be drinking water, though.
It wouldn't. But like, obviously, it's water still at the end of the day.
Big deal. I don't think it's a big deal, but it is kind of like that hook. That's a crazy hook. That's a crazy hook. Like, you make me think, oh fuck, and one day we're not gonna have water because we're giving it to the robots. The fuck aren't they robots?
Breaking news: Donald Trump's administration, the Office of Management and Budget, has now stopped all payments to the states and to individuals in many programs. This is from a 2-page memo directed from the Office of Management and Budget, that is under the direction of Russell Vought, who helped write Project 2025. He's one of the main authors. And basically, it is freezing at least some point in time, we don't know how long, all federal financial assistance in the form of payments that are going to the states and to households that receive programs such as SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition and Assistance Program, and other programs. It could, I believe, it looks like Medicaid is another one, and other programs that affect people's health insurance. It did specifically say that Social Security and Medicare would not be impacted. But basically, all other federal programs, assistance, that they are freezing those programs. Now, these programs were created, many of which by Congress, and I don't know that they have the legal authority to do this. So just because they are releasing this through the Office of Management and Budget does not mean they have the authority to do so. We'll have to find out more. But just be aware, be prepared. These payments can be stopping any time now. And if you receive various benefits from the federal government through the states or directly through SNAP, there may be a halt. So just be aware. Love you for my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned out light bulbs. And guess what? These programs don't impact the billionaires, do they? They're trying to make sure there's money so they can get this massive tax cut they want. That's all they care about. Don't care about you little people. All of you MAGAs, you're going to find out you have effed around, and you're going to find out. This is not what you bargained for, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people upset with that one.
Read between the lines. Between the... Oh my God, there they are. Read between the...
Lies. Read between the lies.
Ifs? Is that what it says? Is this real?
Is this real? Is this real? Is this real life?
Is this where are we awake right now?
Am I into you?
Hold on, what's happening for real?
What's it say?
I think I have to lie on the ground. Read between the
Lies paradise. Did I say paradise? Where was that at?
Yes, it's true that we have been in contact with your government and heads of power. It is also true that we have been It is also true that agreements have been made and kept secret from your people. It is also true that in the past, some of your people have lost their lives or have been badly hurt to protect the secret. Our hands had no part in this. We contacted your leaders because your planet is in grave trouble. Your leaders said the vast majority of your population wasn't ready for anything like us yet. So we made time agreements with your leaders as to when your people would be made aware of our presence. Your air, your water are contaminated. Your forests, jungles, trees, and plant life are dying. There are several breaks in your food chain. You have an overwhelming amount of nuclear and biological weapons, which include nuclear and biological contamination.
Y'all believe him? We got all that here.
To Washington now, where the Trump administration announced a sweeping freeze on all federal grants, funds already approved by Congress. Chief Washington correspondent John Carl is tracking Trump's executive action. John, the administration says this is just a temporary pause, but it could have major consequences.
George, look, there is a lot of confusion this morning about what exactly this directive means, but it may be the most far-reaching executive action this White House has taken yet. It could potentially halt hundreds of billions of dollars in federal spending on everything from assistance to farmers to Head Start programs to disaster relief and public transportation. In a memo describing this, was obtained by ABC News, the White House Budget Office has ordered all federal agencies to cease any financial assistance if they believe the program might conflict with President Trump's executive orders. The directive is not specific about which programs would have to be suspended, but it's clearly far-reaching. It says, quote, this memorandum requires federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance programs and supporting activities consistent with the president's policies and requirements. The only thing explicitly not included in this is Medicare and Social Security and anything directly given to individuals. But George, this is far-reaching. The Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer responded, one of many responding overnight, saying Congress approved these investments. They are not optional. They are the law. And you described it as a pause, George. It's important to point out this memo does not say how long the pause will last. There's nothing specifying when the pause is over.
Right, as you say, this could be have such sweeping impact. It also comes on top of a big shakeup at the Justice Department.
Yeah, that's right. The Trump administration has fired over a dozen career prosecutors in the Justice Department's national security and criminal divisions. These are people who were involved in any way in the cases against Donald Trump. These officials received an email from the acting attorney general on Monday telling them, in part, given your significant role in prosecuting the president, I do not believe that the leadership of the department can trust you in implementing the president's agenda faithfully. Those fired, George, include some of the Justice Department's most senior prosecutors. These are individuals who have served in Republican and Democratic administrations.
It also comes on top of action taken against some AID, foreign assistance professionals. And we learned about an executive order the president signed Monday that could set in motion a ban on transgender troops.
Yeah, this builds on a previous order he had done last week. It seems to pave the way to pushing openly transgender people out of the military, mirroring the order he signed on transgender last week. But this goes further, allowing the Pentagon to possibly bar transgender people if they identify as a gender other than the one assigned at birth. It states expressing a false gender identity divergent from an individual's sex cannot satisfy the rigorous standards necessary for the military service. So yes, it looks like it is paving the way for a total ban.
John Carl, thanks very much.
Don Julio
What y'all thoughts on all these bans?
Popeyes have announced a collab set to launch on January 3rd. We need to bring this to the attention of Marco.
The Don Julio and Popeyes Chicken collaboration is a government psyop backed by the CIA meant to persecute the black community and distract the greater public at large. Popeyes Chicken itself is a branch of the CIA. Every time a national catastrophe occurs or an unsavory conspiracy theory is proven true, here comes Popeyes with a new chicken sandwich. An uneasy regime change, new chicken sandwich. Too many kids go missing at once and it reaches the public consciousness. New limited edition Popeyes chicken sandwiches drop. The head chairman of the CIA is shaking with rage due to the fact that Whippets didn't completely eradicate the black community. Due to the fact that only the weakest and the most hardcore of us fell into Whippets, he is seething. You combine that with the fires destroying California, the astronauts still stuck in space, the class consciousness that's been going around a little too frequently on this app, they decided to craft the perfect distraction for everyone. Don Julio and Popeye's chicken for the blacks, and Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively drama for the whites. Remain vigilant, remain conscious. Thank you for watching.
Don Julio and Popeye's collaboration. Wow.
All over the country, people are claiming to feel sick after a long-standing fog. They say they smell chemicals in the air, and they feel blood in the back of their throat and also taste it. It's funny because last month I posted a video that sickness was coming. Sickness was coming for those who chose to stay in 3D. Pay special attention to who gets sick and who does not during this season, and you'll see that prophecies are nothing to be messed with. They all come true. And it's not necessarily a punishment, but it is a fact of life that sickness was going to come to those who indulge solely in the physical.
I might seem stupid. Let's focus. I've just been eating my rice from Aldi, whole grain rice. Someone tell me why it looks like a fucking maggot.
Yeah.
Excuse my French. But look, why does it look like maggots for? Someone's gonna tell me this is normal, but oh my days, I'm scared.
Oh.
Aldi, can you answer me, please? Thanks.
Look at the globe Earth.
Hallo. Du bist so Massage. Hola, hallo. Du bist so... Du bist so Massage.
Still laughing for me. I'm just saying, do it make sense to y'all?
We finna see some shit. Trump is not fucking around. Day one, that motherfucker did some shit that we thought only God. Trumpism in day one, we thought only God could do. Day one, some people went to sleep, woke up, Trump had took their whole gender away. God damn! Your whole Badussy is gone, bitch. That's a penis. They ain't even got no bathrooms or nothing. Trump don't give a fuck. There's a lot going on out there.
I swear.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I can't watch all that. I'm trying to go see Cat on tour for real. I don't want to spoil nothing.
We need to talk about eggplants.
I just need to ask you, Laura Lynn, did you know that nicotine is second highest in content by weight inside of eggplants? Second only to tobacco plants? Did you know that the third highest containing nicotine vegetable on earth is tomatoes? Every red tomato that you've ever eaten has nicotine in it.
What?
Wow.
Did you know that green tomatoes have 10 times the amount of nicotine as red tomatoes? Did you know that bell peppers, cauliflower, celery, zucchini, all nightshade vegetables have tons of nicotine? In fact, that whole group of foods, nightshade vegetables, has the second highest amount of nicotine, only second to tobacco. Now, this one should shock you. Have you ever eaten a potato chip or mashed potatoes or a baked potato or French fries?
All of it.
I have.
Did you know that white potatoes have nicotine in them? And every time you've eaten potatoes, you're sucking down nicotine? Now, my question for you is why do they continue to make us so scared of nicotine and tobacco if it's in our veggies?
Yeah.
So this is the level of
Think about
lying,
it.
pervasive lying, propaganda you've seen around tobacco since 1994. You're never going to be addicted to those vegetables. And they found out that the FDA has approved since the 1970s all tobacco giants can add 599 man-made chemicals to their tobacco products, of which 15 are called pyrazines, and Harvard confirmed in 2015 these man-made chemicals called pyrazines are why tobacco products are addictive. And then even said in their paper, FDA, we expect you should start regulating pyrazines over nicotine.
Wow. So it's pyrazine, not nicotine. I had no clue nicotine was in vegetables, like, at all. Anybody else know that? Like, dang. You go eat a tomato, you might as well have smoked a pack of cigarettes. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. On August 29th, 05, Hurricane Katrina broke this levee and more. What really happened here? For real, what really happened? Because in 05, we didn't have TikToks. We didn't have cell phones. There was no uploading anything. We got what we got on the news, you know? And we got the post of everything. We didn't see what was happening live for the most part, unless it was like a helicopter or something going around. But we didn't really get the people's perspectives like that back then. And I feel like something definitely happened. Like nowadays when they try to do stuff like this, bang, it's online. People on there voicing their opinions, trying to break down what's really going on. But back then, it was all bad.
Here's the outside.
What's going on over here?
I don't see any of the writing. It feels like it should have been there. I'm gonna go to the other side and try to get a better view. But it's empty. Well, that car just pulled out.
I have no clue.
The family matter and the truth for the matter. He was.
So what's it say? Hundreds of supporters arrive at Costco for a buy-in in support of company's DEI. A buy-in? A buy-in? Is that really the answer? Let's just go spend some more money. Let's just go give our money to someone else again. Let's get thousands of people together. And instead of putting our money together to create something ourselves, let's go to another store that supposedly supports us, and give them all of our money. Million Man March-esque. Mm-hmm. Why everybody wearing red with Target bags? Is that what it is? It's like a protest to Target. I don't know, man. I'm at odds with that one.
So I'm guessing Target is really trying to go out of business. You know it's time to stop shopping at a business when a business start feeling themselves. And it's not about what you did, it's about what you said. Oh, I'm hearing that Target said that they don't need our money anymore. Our money anymore. And just like Walmart, we don't need you. See, the thing is, these big businesses, we support them. We shop in their stores. We go there on a regular basis. And they think that we're the people that need them. No! We're the people that pay you. And with that being said, there are a whole bunch of other places that sell the items that you sell. Sometimes when we go to other places, we get the items that you sell for cheaper. And another thing, since we're getting technical, people been complaining about your prices. People been complaining about customer service. People have been complaining, but they kept coming back. So maybe, just maybe, this might be the time that people don't come back, Target. Since you want to be cocky about it. That's the word for it, cocky. At the end of the day, I'm not telling nobody to do anything at all. Make your own choices. You feel comfortable, feeling uncomfortable, then feel uncomfortable. But if you feel uncomfortable when a business made you feel uncomfortable, let them know.
The truth is,
So I think that's another one with the DEI program or whatever with Target, because I've been seeing a lot of that pop up. I really don't like Target. I never really like shopping there anyway, just because it's like I just didn't. No one looks like me in there. But I hate going in there, and I'm gonna just put this out there. I hate going to any of these stores in February and they've got Black History Month apparel. You put my stuff on display for 1 month. You know what I'm saying? Here's your little 1 month of history and your little 1 month of this. It will make you feel good for 1 month.
It's been a habit he's had for a long time, and he's even spoken about it proudly in the past.
This is called desert sand. It's a badass color, never seen before on the market in a training shoe. And I just realized you just saw my big bottle of a pee. Look, I go hardcore when I train. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. I find a bottle, I pee in it, and I keep training like a beast.
Well, yeah, the headline is actually true. I do pee in my water bottles, but let me give context to that, because everyone's leaning in now to what this means. It's not a water bottle that I've actually purchased solely for water that you wash and you clean when you're done using it. These are just bottles that I'm no longer using. And usually the gyms that I work out in don't have a bathroom because they're the Iron Paradise. There's no bathroom there. It's just hot, sweaty, and dirty. I usually stay pretty hydrated. I need to go to the bathroom a lot. Not a lot, but probably a couple of times during every workout I have to go to the bathroom. So I break out the bottle.
I don't know.
So am I late to the party? But why am I just hearing that the whole entire world, and I mean the whole world, is out here protesting for us, rallying for us? Now I know before whatever happened with TikTok, I was seeing just about everything, every single thing. And I'm not saying things now because I'm seeing a lot of things, but I don't see that. I honestly tried to search a couple of things and it still didn't give me those videos. So maybe, like I said, once again, maybe I'm late to the party. But is the whole world protesting for us? And if they are protesting, because I keep hearing this, I haven't seen any footage. I just want to know what they're protesting for. Like, what are the protests about? What's the reason for the protests? Because I haven't seen anything. I just see on my FYP, the world is protesting for us. The world is protesting for us. Somebody send me something to let me know what's going on, man.
First off, does anybody else write their twos like that? Like he's writing the twos in such detail. Not gonna lie, I just real quick. Sometimes my twos look like a 5. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else know this trick? There's quicker ways to math. Math is really just memorizing stuff.
I need someone smart to tell me if this is all right. You look at all that ice right there along that middle shelf. You see it? Now pay attention. Goes all the way through, right through the middle of the dam. Like the dam is leaking water. All the way through that shelf, all the way through, all the way through, all the way through, and then right there's more. You think those fuckers have anything to do with it?
You know it. Yeah, I'd be a little worried. Not gonna lie.
So China has the United States shaking in its boots. So much so that the stock market crashed this morning. Their new AI model that's similar to America's own ChatGPT, called DeepSeek, triggers a global sell-off. They're saying that this AI model is way more efficient and it takes way less to run. And it got America in shambles. This app was released last week and is already breaking ground. The app is #1 on Apple right this moment. And of course, this is a smack in the face for America because America puts so much behind ChatGPT. A lot of people are saying that China is way more advanced than America. Way more advanced than America. They're saying that DeepSeek, the leading Chinese AI lab, is set to outperform ChatGPT in all angles, in all ways. So what I'm saying is, what do you think? How do you think America is going to come back from this? How do you think this is going to affect America? Because once again, China is trying to prove that they are the head in technology. Easy.
How many of...
Hey, I'ma just be honest, man. China's been ahead, man, as far as technology. Just think about it. Like, anything you own, what's it say on the back of it? Made in China. Like, look, my son got a little dinosaur, a little toy over here. What's it say? Made in China. Let's see, what else we got here? We got a mouse. It don't have no made in nothing in here. Let's see what else we got. We got something else in here. Camera. Okay, this was made in Japan. It wasn't made in China, but it's close enough. You guys get the point, man. Everything be made in China. My chair. E-Win. China. Speaking of E-Win, get you an E-Win chair because these mugs is nice.
You have been looking for something and you can't find it. I know I put it right there. It was right there. Where did it go? Then the next day or so you go back, there it is. But it has just gone into another dimension where that didn't exist at that time. So you're constantly moving back and forth between these dimensions and you don't even know it. That's the interesting thing about this. But they said it's perfectly normal. There's nothing to worry about. You can't control it anyway. Like he said, you get stuck there, because you're stuck here anyway. Okay, but this comes around to the UFO things. That's why I wanted you to understand about dimensions. When I first began this, I had so many cases of missing time. To me, the most interesting are condensed time rather than missing time. But I'm going to be talking about both of them. Yeah, I'm going back to the simple stuff, but a lot of you have probably never heard this anyway. We're getting more complicated material instead. I've had many cases of missing time.
Yo, that's happened to me right now. I don't know. If you've been following my channel for some time, right, you guys have probably noticed that I usually wear a gold Brahma pendant, right? It's got like 3 heads right here. One day I woke up, and I take my pendant off every night, I put it down with my whole chain, you know what I'm saying, before I get in bed, because I don't sleep with it. One day I woke up and it wasn't there, right? So I didn't think nothing of it. Let's go about my day, thinking, okay, maybe I'll put it somewhere else. It's been about 2 weeks. I've searched my entire house, cars, everything. I've backtracked everything, and I cannot find this pendant. The only explanation I have, it's in another dimension, man. Brahma came and took the pendant. Vishnu, one of them, they came in to this dimension, snatched my stuff. And I don't know, man. I'm just lost for words, right? It's driving me crazy.
Wow. I figured out the script. What do you mean? The commander-in-chief is pushing bills in the land of the eagle.
No, man, who else already knew that it was going to be Chiefs versus Eagles in the Super Bowl? We know that freaking NFL is scripted, just like a lot of these other things, right? I mean, it's scripted to a certain point. A lot of it is real. You know, the players might even think that is real, but it's scripted.
So a whistleblower revealed that they was part of a secret operation to retrieve an egg-shaped UAP. And where did all this transpire? In Antarctica. Where do you think? So allegedly, these group of people went to Antarctica, to a cave in Antarctica, to a cave in Queen Elizabeth's range in Antarctica. And allegedly, when they got to this cave had hieroglyphs and petroglyphs on the walls and on the egg. And allegedly, they found an alien sleeping. Anytime and every time that I hear of anything going on in Antarctica, it always gives me the chills because it's something about Antarctica. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true story, but what I do know is everything that I am seeing right now, you can search and you can see the pictures and you can see the egg and you can see etc., etc., etc. Now, you got to remember, anybody that's familiar with this topic, we just had people come out and say that they were egg-shaped UAPs. So once again, this story is sounding very, very familiar. But to anybody that's interested, do some research and jump back in these comments. I'm out.
Every major event that's taking place in the world right now is all a part of the plan. Drones, ETs, Luigio, all of this shit is all part of the New World Order. I just want people to understand one thing. There is no outside threat coming from outer space. The threat is already here and they really hate us. It's really us against them, but so many people can't see this. Why can't they see it? Because they are waiting for a savior. The elites know that spiritual people are waiting for UFOs to come back, and religion people are waiting for Jesus to come back. So if they use Project Bluebeam and project alien spacecrafts or project Jesus coming out of it, they won. I keep trying to tell people they're gonna lock us back down pretty soon because this is the New World Order. We are about to lose all of our rights. January 16th, 1991, he addressed the nation speaking about UFOs and how it can make all of us come together. One world government. This is all connected to the Pope because once the Pope opened up those tombs, Lucifer will be released, and once he is released, he will be the leader of the New World Order. Remember, when they say look up, look down. They say look left, look right. Stop falling for the bait. If you want to know more, my book is available. The link is in my bio.
And so I want to just illustrate something for you guys very quickly. This is DeepSeek on the side here, and this is ChatGPT.
Wait. Anybody heard about DeepSeek, right? Apparently that's the new ChatGPT in China. Like, why is it that we have all these like Chinese apps now popping up, right? You know, at first it was just TikTok. Everyone was, oh, TikTok. Then you got Red Note, right? Which is another Chinese app that they say is apparently better than TikTok, right? I've never been on Red Note. Now you have DeepSeek, which is apparently better than ChatGPT. And you see what they've done with ChatGPT. Like, they've invested so much money into this, and all these other companies are getting into it. And then you have DeepSeek drop. Man, what's really going on?
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a few prompts so you can just get a comparative idea of how these two models perform differently next to each other. And this is really important because right now we are like in the Manhattan Project 2.0, and the Manhattan Project was about, you know, how do we build, you know, nuclear bombs, right? But this is really it. This lets you know the magnitude and scale of what we're dealing with in artificial intelligence. And right now, China just released DeepSeek, and they have their R1 and V3 models. The R1 is probably something that's comparative to ChatGPT's O1 advanced reasoning model, but we'll get into that because I've been using DeepSeek, and if the American government was afraid about TikTok and being able to get all of the information and behavior and deepest, darkest thoughts of Americans, then DeepSeek is like just injecting it right into our veins. Like, here's my social, right? Here's everything about me.
Yo, it's like that.
So I want to be able to illustrate just some prompts. You know, we're going to go through this. I'll probably break this up in sections where we're going to go just basic context handling, some immediate context handling. We're going to do creative context handling, multi-step logic and execution, some advanced reasoning and critical thinking, and then we'll do some advanced contextual challenges. And so I want to kick this off just so you can see what this looks like, because DeepSeek is about 30 times less expensive than ChatGPT, right? And so all of this uses tokens.
That's a lot.
When you write something, so if you think about what tokens look like, if you were to write a novel, I created a token calculator in Claude. So if you create a novel, to a book, it's like 2,500 words. A research paper is 1,500 words. And so we just kind of maxed this all the way out just to see. You can see how crazy it gets in terms of cost per 1,000, right? Cost per 1,000 tokens, $22. Cost per 1,000 tokens, $483, just in terms of scale. And so, all right. And so that's just some context in terms of why the American government is investing $500 billion in AI infrastructure, is because they don't want to lose to China in this AI wars race. But anyway, we're going to get to just some basic, simple prompting, right? We're going to say, what is photosynthesis in terms? So I'm going to put these in here, and you'll get a good idea of like how fast the models are even moving, right? And so you can see the answers, the speed in which an answer, and how thorough each one actually gives an answer. And then we're going to do explain. And so this is our first just basic context handling.
DeepSeek kind of got ChatGPT beat right now.
And then summarize and sentences. And so we're going to see here, ChatGPT is still talking, DeepSeek is still thinking, and then there we go. All right, and so that's all of them. And so we want to see what ChatGPT did. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, in simple terms, and we're going to come back up here also to DeepSeek just to see. In simple terms, plants, photosynthesis is a process which green plants, large algae, and some bacteria use sunlight to make their own food. They use sunlight. And so you can just see the structure in which it gave an answer. It's how plants eat. In simple terms, sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, chemical reaction, glucose, oxygen. So it's interesting in terms of how we lay this out. So how does photosynthesis contribute to the oxygen cycle? And so what happens here when you think about context is that we ask for in simple terms. And so oftentimes the large language model will remember the context in terms of how it's interfacing or discussing with you. And so oxygen production, atmospheric oxygen, respiratory. I mean, it's definitely a more verbose answer within DeepSeek versus ChatGPT. And so here we go on the third question. Explain how the oxygen cycle impacts human life and ecosystem. And so the oxygen cycle is essentially for human life and ecosystem because it maintains the balance of oxygen. It considers a continuous supply of oxygen, which is essential for survival. Impacts on human respiration, health and well-being, health, medical applications, impacts on the ecosystem, animal life, aquatic ecosystem, plant life, decomposition, climate regulation, and then it offers a summary. And then I like to look at, just when we get in some of these more, the summary, like how robotic does it sound? Photosynthesis drives the oxygen cycle by covering sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into oxygen and glucose. Photosynthesis produces oxygen as a byproduct, which is released into the atmosphere. And so this is really interesting in terms of how they lay it out. And so this is our first test, and I just want you guys to just see that and provide some feedback on what you think about this, because the next one I'm going to do is going to be on research synthesis.
Any ChatGPT users out there? Any DeepSeek users out there? I've just used ChatGPT every now and then just to play around, you know what I'm saying? Hey, write me something up real quick, you know what I'm saying? Something simple like that, but I ain't never really dove into it to see what it can really do. And I have never been on DeepSeek, but guys, let me know what you think. What's the difference? And what do you guys think about these AI models that they keep releasing?
DeepSeek caused the U.S. stock market to crash $1 trillion. DeepSeek is China AI that's outcompeting all billion-dollar American AI, such as OpenAI, Google's Gemini, Meta's Llama, and caused the stock market to crash.
How much did it cost to make?
Penny! While Google and Meta have spent over $50 billion with plans to spend more than $200 billion every year, DeepSeek has only spent $5.6 million.
How is that possible?
Just hold on! The United States has restricted high-power AI chips to China for years. They believe these chips were the key to being the world's technology leader, which is why they kept it from China. However, DeepSeek used less expensive, lower capability chips than bigger companies and still managed to outcompete them.
So the stock market crashed because people are questioning if America will be the world's tech leader.
See, DeepSeek has proven that pouring more money into a tech company doesn't mean a better product. What's even more impressive is DeepSeek was only created less than a year ago.
What about the $500 billion AI project Trump announced?
Nobody cares anymore! Last year, OpenAI said they need trillions of dollars of investment to run their AI products. They were banking on high-quality chips. However, China showed they can do it cheaper, quicker, and more effectively. This caused NVIDIA to lose 12% in the stock market and lose $500 billion in market capitalization. Funny thing is, DeepSeek is ran on NVIDIA chips. However, less powerful versions OpenAI claim that they need it.
Well, other AI companies still have a chance?
Unfortunately for them, it's too late! DeepSeek 2025! Instead of DeepSeek, people need to seek a deep relationship with a woman or man.
What does it have to do with the stock market?
Every day, DeepSeek probably saw your information from tech. It was clearly the spies. We need a bad retina.
Do you have ADHD?
Oh, that's a funny way to get the information across, though. No lie. It was pretty entertaining.
It's the food that they think is the same is not the same anymore. You know, everybody's for free choice. Whether we're liberal or whether we're conservative, we've all got that streak in us. But the fact is, you cannot have free choice unless you have an informed choice. And you can't have an informed choice if they're lying about what's on the label. What about Pam cooking spray? Everybody knows what Pam is. It's some kind of little healthy oil.
Raise your hands if you got Pam at home. I don't think I have Pam, but I do have some type of cooking spray. Pretty much the same thing.
With compressed air that you spray it and it gets on your pan. It's not compressed air. That, you know, and they don't tell you, but it's butane and propane. People don't understand that they are spraying lighter fluid on their children's hotcakes. And it's fabulously successful.
The GOAT conspiracy is the Illuminati.
You believe in it or you don't?
I don't believe in none of that shit. Like, I don't think none of that shit. Especially the Illuminati shit is only us. Like, you know, how are we not benefiting from it?
Crazy.
If we're supposed to be running this whole thing, how the fuck I get stopped by the cops the other day? Can the Illuminati come tell him get off my ass?
You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
No lie. That weak explanation. Why I get pulled over by the cops? Because you got pulled over by the cops. I don't mean that you're not in the gang, you feel me? I think there's definitely the gang. And the fact that that's his GOAT conspiracy. There ain't no other conspiracies out here that you didn't thought of. There's a lot of them. A lot of them. A whole iceberg. Yo. Now this looks like, you know what this look like? This look like Goku and Vegeta. Then blasted, and the blast is about to meet.
What is going on?
For real though. What is that?
Can you see that? Oh my God.
I don't know.
Video recorder.
What do you guys think that is? What's your thoughts? I mean, aside from Dragon Ball Z stuff, but on some real stuff, what do you think it is?
Yo, Council, I have no idea where this is. I have no idea what's actually going on. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. If it's just blue beam, if it's CGI, AI. Anyway, let me know.
Well, look at my fucking hair. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. You know I ain't goddamn mind. So my cousin texted me. She like, I'm in the back of this Lyft. Something don't fucking seem right. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? She talking about, bitch, the motherfucking car don't match the description on the goddamn. I'm like, bitch.
Red flag right there. They tell you in the app, man, make sure you read the license plate first, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's the right car. Red flag.
Why the fuck did you get in? She said I asked him to verify his name before I did. And he said the name on the goddamn phone. So I'm like, all right, bitch, I got your low. I'm on the way, so I'm speeding. So when I'm like, I'm behind you. This, I'm behind you. So she like, we get to the red light. I'm like, jump the fuck out of this red light. The motherfucker on child lock. I said, it's all right. I skirt in front of that motherfucker because he tried to drive. She like, let me out, sir, let me out. He like, no, we not here yet. Bitch, when she said, let me the fuck out, she canceled the ride and everything. He not let her the fuck out. So I swerved in front of that motherfucker. open this motherfucking door. He drove the fuck around me. Oh, it's gonna be one of them. I hop back in my shit. Oh, now you finna get your shit out. I'm like, bitch, I'm finna pop these motherfucking tires. Scoot your ass to that side. Pop, pop, pop. Tires gone. Tires gone. Let my motherfucking cousin the fuck out. So, nigga, when we get, I had to go through his motherfucker. He's still not. I'm like, bitch, hop in the motherfucking front seat. Beat this nigga face in. So I'm opening his motherfucking door. She beating his face in from the left. I'm beating his fucking face in from the right. Bitch, let my motherfucking cousin out this. It's not even the same man from the fucking app. He verified the fucking name and all though. So what's going on? Cause she got to the car. She like, verify your name. He said the name that was on the fucking left. Call the police if you want to. You're not even a person on this. All right. 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm coming every time though. She was just getting fresh off of work. So she wasn't even paying attention. All she like is verify your name. Cause he pull up, he like, you for Lyft? She like, yeah, verify your name. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yo, you gotta be safe out here, for real.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
Gates' business strategies came under fire in 1998 when the United States Department of Justice sued Microsoft for antitrust violations.
This is tape 3 of the videotape deposition of Bill Gates on September.
During the 18-month trial, Gates gave hours of videotape testimony.
What were the non-Microsoft browsers that you were concerned about in January of 1996? That month. Yes, sir. And what about it? What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996? I don't know what you mean concerned. What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
And the man's evil. That's all I'm gonna say.
And every conversation we're having about evacuations, that depopulation conversation is continuously coming up. That depopulation conversation is continuously coming up.
Everybody's got to stand right now. There's no time, there's no wait,
There
there's
is
no
no
tomorrow. It's now.
FBI. There is no cops. There is no help. You don't understand. The people that you worship are in on it. Your celebrities are in on it. We are telling our major people, and you think that we're not in danger? But we've been playing with y'all because I'm smiling. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I imagine that tonight we're gonna have hell. I'm ahead of you. I'm already ahead of you. Just know that. I'm already ahead of you. And you have no idea. Go watch the video. Please go watch the video. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. Go watch the video.
We are literally in a war. Just because you don't see army men and tanks in the streets, we are in a war.
Go do your research. Go watch the video. I don't understand, people. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay. All I gotta say is go get my friends. Go back for my friends. Every single one of them.
A large working city operating deep underground as we go about our lives on the surface above. It's real, and it's right here in the United States.
Subtropolis. Decades ago, limestone was mined here for concrete and asphalt. What's left is space. A lot of space.
Okay, so what's down here right now? We have 6 million square feet of buildings leased to 55 companies. There's 1,700 employees that run around here and go to work every day.
It's a massive industrial park, all underground.
You ever worry like the world could come to an end upstairs and you guys would just be down here toiling away, right? I feel like Fort Knox there.
Security is a big selling point. Subtropolis is basically disaster-proof. Another selling point? Subtropolis is always 65 degrees. Always. What better place, then, to put a room full of computer servers? There's a lot of cool...
Yo, Everything's underground. All the computer servers, I think AI is underground. We probably got some super AI computer and some super AI servers that are deep underground and they're getting ready to take over. If not, they probably already done took over. I'm just saying, man. But as conspiracy people, man, we've been saying this for a long time. We've been saying there's a lot of stuff underground. There's cities underground. They're in the mountains. They're all over. No one wants to listen. They're letting us know.
Stuff in Subtropolis, especially in a company called Underground Vaults and Storage.
What are you going to show us? We're going to show you Hollywood right behind these doors.
Inside, aisle upon aisle of TV and movie treasures sent here by the studios for safekeeping. From the National Archives to food distributor Harris Brothers, the occupants of Subtropolis praise the predictability of doing business in a place where the sun never shines nor sets.
No one is talking about this, but there was an explosion at the LA Convention Center about an hour and a half ago. It was a bomb.
The guys at the apartment said there was a loud bomb that they heard earlier.
Like the whole thing is completely fucking blocked off. And no one has given us any information at all. An explosion. No one has any information on what happened.
Anybody know about that explosion? I haven't heard anything.
I will never forget the fact that when they first invented light bulbs, they could burn for 100 years, but the light bulb companies wanted to make more money, so they made them burn out every year or so. And I realized that we don't use incandescent bulbs anymore, we mostly use LED. But I think about that when I remember what corporations think about us as consumers. They hate us.
They do. Does anyone else think that it's weird that in our cars we can reach and touch the other side, but in a bus we can't, and they both can fit in the same lane? You know? I haven't really thought about that one. Got me with that one.
The color blue was never written down.
Weird.
Like in the Bible, in like all this, like blue was never a word.
They didn't have a word for that color?
No. And so, but like when they would describe like the ocean and stuff like that, they would describe it as like a green. What? And yeah. And so the theory is if you can't connect a word with a color, can you not see that color? And so they did an experiment.
That's crazy.
Yo. Just think about that though. If there's no name for the color, you see it. You're gonna say that it's a certain other color, right? So if you see an ocean and you call it green because you've never heard of the word blue, you don't have blue. You only have green. You know what? There's probably a lot of other things out here like that too.
Did an experiment in this tribe somewhere in Africa. It was like the Bush people.
Yeah.
And they also have never heard the word blue. And so they it's this graph of like 12 squares and they're all green, right? And then there's one that's like a bluish green, but it's like very different. Like all of us would be like, oh yeah, that one's different. And they had these people look at it and they were staring at it and it took them so long to figure out which color was different because they don't know what to look for in the blue. They're like, find the one that's different. It was weird.
Yeah.
These people think I'm crazy. Y'all, look at this shit. Just look. You see that shit? Y'all seen that shit? Yo, watch this. Got it on camera. Thank God. What?
Free packages for everybody.
Even the comatose, they don't dance and
What if the meteor that killed the dinosaurs was actually a spaceship and we are the aliens? I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, I don't know about the dinosaur part of it, but it does make sense that, you know, we're the aliens. But then again, there's a lot of people here who just can naturally live on this earth without all the extra needs that it seems like we need to have to make us feel like we're not from this earth or a part of this earth. I just think that if we got back to a real reality, you know, one that deals with nature and stuff like that, that we wouldn't think that we're not from this planet. City glitching in LA. What? Oh snap, you see the lights?
It's the whole city. Okay, you guys, I'm kind of freaking out and it's hard for you to see it, but if you look closely at the city, watch, all of the lights are gonna suddenly start blinking.
They all are. You can still see it. Look, see?
Do you see?
I got some weird energy out there, some weird frequencies up in LA.
It's throwing me off so much. I hope that you guys can see it through the rain. Look at that. Do you guys see that?
Definitely seen it. I don't know what's up with that.
So I'm on a pier. I'm in Miami, near Sunny Isles. I see some weird shit. I want somebody to help me. So I'm gonna show you some comparisons, right? That's a yacht right there. You can see. That's a sailboat right there that you can see. I'm scanning over here real quick. That is a cargo ship right there that you can see. Somebody on a jet ski. What the fuck is that? I come out here all the time. I know what cargo ships look like. That's one right there. This one seems like it's further out behind it. It looks like a fucking city.
Is it a city? What is that? I'm off Florida, people. What is that?
Shit?
I don't know. Looks like a city on the horizon.
Dark. And it's like, it just stopped.
Yo, how?
And now it's like,
Yo.
am I tripping out?
How is it levitating though? I mean, magnetic levitation, but from what though?
Did you see that? 476. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, Clementine 3000.
Okay, left end 350, 3000, American 3130.
Lucy 5347, go around, Clementine 3000, flight.
You know, that's crazy, man. That's gonna make a lot of people not want to fly. But ain't it just strange how a military plane, and I don't want to get too conspiracy with it, man. You know, shout out to all those families. How does a military helicopter just crash into a plane? Is it adding up to y'all? Look at a whole fleet of them. How many you think that was? 100? Oh, this back in December. Terrytown. Oh, snap. What would y'all do in that situation? You see those in the
If
sky.
you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. Think you can work this one out yourself.
Yo. Everything around me is square right now.
I gotta agree with what other people are saying lately. You
You gotta let go of them trees. These trees ain't the trees of old. These ain't the trees from the earth. These are trees from the government. And these trees will definitely put you into a low vibrational psychosis, especially if you're looking to do any sort of spiritual work. A lot of people like to meditate with the help of trees, but it's not helping. It's basically creating a new enemy for your spirit to fight against. So it gives you a higher likelihood of going into spiritual psychosis. It's best to just let it go. And if you can't let it go, please perform moderation. It'll only take 2 or 3 days before you're feeling great. Just cold turkey it. It's not something with withdrawals, so you'll be all right.
Time to
So
let
my
it go.
kiddo found this at a thrift store. He's really into geography and cartography. So this was a neat find. And as we looked at it, and we got over here, Europe, Africa, Asia, boom. So yeah,
it's
hidden
on the
in
map.
plain sight for sure. It's pretty cool.
It's right there. Yo.
Misfired today during routine startup tests. Casey? Yes, it was a day of mourning for the families of...
Is that not what's going on right now?
It's a recall on this, y'all. It's a recall on this. 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 It's a recall on this.
Y'all wondering if these folks 200 years old, how did they get us down like this? Because the Moors is the ones who came and put us down. The white folks just holding the line so the Moors can try to get away.
Yo, you ever heard the saying, all skin folk ain't kinfolk?
Let me update y'all on Chicago bullshit today. It's a wildfire with snow on the ground. Good night.
Just came back from the DMV, and of course one of my forms of ID was my passport. The clerk who handled my thing was so impressed and a little surprised. But then she said quietly, "I'm so glad you have your passport."
Better get your passports. They just found that wall?
I could sit here and argue for like 10 minutes
Bang.
about this, but I'm not going to waste my time because I just know that I'm right.
Basically. So she was talking some truth. There's a fire in Chicago now. Or
Being
was.
painted on the wall. Watch this.
Is that an original painting, sir? Oh, yes. Nearly everything here is original. That was done in Austria, 1761.
1761.
The discovery of America. The discovery of America. Is it all in there? Nearly. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. The discovery of America. I think I'm just going to leave this $10 here on the table, sir. That way it's out of my hands. Oh, relax, relax. Take a minute. Try one of these, sir.
I'm just saying, they put the truth out there.
Donald Trump is opening up a can of worms that I have not seen any other politician ever speak on. When it comes to this birthright issue, he is basically saying that the Birthright Amendment, the 14th Amendment, was created for slaves.
The only country that has it to that extent, and it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened, the children of slaves. It was not meant for everyone. to come into our country by airplane or.
And it's crazy because you got Ann Coulter, of all people, saying that Black Americans are basically being used, you know, by other people to come here and get these rights. And it's interesting because the 13th Amendment that emancipated us was in 1865. And the 14th Amendment that gave these rights of citizenship was in 1868, 3 years later. So clearly, and even when you read on it, it was clearly to address the people that have been free of slavery, and now, of course, they had to deal with issues of citizenship. And it just trips me how you know, I don't want to start trouble, but just how people have not honored our ancestors. And at the end of the day, come to find out, so many people have been able to immigrate and get citizenship in this country because of our ancestors. Isn't that a beautiful thing? But have they been honored? And now the fact that it's being taken away, I mean, I just don't know what to say. But it's an argument that I never understood until now. And no, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but you can't argue. You can't argue history. Thanks to my ancestors for everything that they sacrificed to give me this right. Have a good day.
Hey, she said you can't argue history, but you can argue his story.
Pow!
Alright, so a lot of y'all been wanting me to speak about the deportation stuff. And to be honest, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't really have anything to say about it. What do you want me? If it was us being deported, do you think anyone would have boo to say? No. But I do want to speak about one thing, and that is our government putting into question the birthright citizenship of the Native Americans. One thing you have to know is that the Native Americans live on federally subsidized land, which is the reservations, and they also get a check every month or however often they get their check for being part of the tribes. And
hold on, guys, my head itches. Y'all ever had like an itch that you just gotta get, and it's like ain't nothing gonna stop it? You just like, that was one of those.
Only reason why the government would put that into question is because the cat is out of the bag. The secret is out. So why would they continue to give that land and that money? We all know the truth now. They came over on the Bering Strait and were brought over on boats to co-opt our identity. In case you guys didn't know, there are only certain families in these Native American tribes that own these casinos. I'm from Southern California, right where all them casinos, that's a large Native American population. And you have to ask, how come the whole tribe isn't benefiting? All of these different tribes aren't benefiting from these casinos. Why do y'all think it's only a few families? As y'all know, every group of people has gatekeepers. Whether you see them or know it or not, there are gatekeepers to keep you in place mentally, economically, socially. What do y'all think those casino owners know that the rest of the tribes don't know? What do y'all think that is? Could it be that special little secret? But since that secret is no longer valid, it's no longer a secret, why would they continue to pay them? I mean, we are in the season of cutting back, right? We are in the season of cutting funding to unnecessary areas of spending. And the sad part is most of them do not know. That's a hard, and I have to have sympathy for them, because that's a hard pill to swallow, to know that your entire history was not told to you. And a lot of it was created, a lot of it was stolen, and to then be taught to have pride in your whole culture and your history, and to learn that that ain't y'all history, that's actually ours, is diabolical, to say the least. But that ain't our fault. Go back to the government and ask them why'd y'all do that, and go back to the people, your ancestors, your greats, and the people at them casinos, and ask why. And the history has been right in our face. It's just that we weren't able to recognize or see it. You know, the history's been there a long, long time. But it's there, and that's why they want to take away books and make everything digital so it can be changed. Why do you think everything is going digital, y'all?
Hey, for real, because you know what AI can do with a book? Say if you put an old book digital, it can change everything on that book, and you wouldn't even know. Even the handwriting, you would think it was the same handwriting from someone else. So, I mean, you do kind of got to question those things.
Why do you think everything is going digital? People don't even read regular paper books anymore for the most part. What they do, go online and buy the digital version. You know why? Because you can change it and there'll be no record, no evidence that it was ever something else different, which is already happening. And that's why there's coalitions saying save the books, because books tell the real story, the original story, and you can't change that. You can't change black and white paper. You can't change the ink on the book, on the pages. But that's what they want to bring about. They want to bring it to a place where they can erase things and make it something different, which is they're already experimenting with. Remember the Fruit of the Looms debacle? And they were saying, we didn't have a cornucopia. I think it's called a cornucopia. Yeah, they did. You ain't got to listen to me.
All right, y'all, news is coming in fast. I got some breaking news right here. The Native Americans are also being targeted in the deportation. They're being detained. And why is that? Well, the government has no more need for them. They was on federal land. Those reservations are federal subsidized land. They get checks from the government. And they also were brought here from Siberia. Check out the Siberians. Pay attention. And the government also is very aware that they don't have the birthright that they thought they had. No, because you were brought here, you're no longer an asset to them. They know who the indigenous people is. You see what I'm saying? Oh, this is about to get real. The reason it's about to get real is because when the real indigenous black people are shown to be the true people of this land, that means they're going to owe you back every bit of those taxes that you and your ancestors had to pay. See, we don't want reparations. We want restoration. We want every fucking thing you stole from us, the land included. See?
I mean, y'all seen the first picture, right? Of that original painting. You know, that those images can be seen a lot of places. You know, you can Google it up. You can find those images. And it shows you what the representation of the actual American original Americans were. "1 year old in an hour." I can see it.
They dropped them motherfucking children off on them orphan trains on us. We became they motherfucking babysitters and teachers. The scientists couldn't teach these crazy bitches nothing. They was made 1 year old in a fucking hour. Tell me I'm lying.
That's crazy, right? Hey, go watch the movie Replicas with Keanu Reeves, or go watch the show Watchmen on I don't know what it's on, one of them you know what I'm trying to say.
DeepSeek is definitely not a joke. So yesterday, after DeepSeek made the stock market crash and hit America in the pocket for $1 trillion, they had a cyber attack. Yeah, you heard it, which means people that was trying to sign up for DeepSeek couldn't sign up for DeepSeek, but if you were on DeepSeek, you were good. But basically, it seemed real convenient that they had a cyber attack when the United States stock market crashed. But that ain't stopped DeepSeek. That didn't stop China. Guess what they did? DeepSeek came back with another model that's called Janus Pro, which means it got more fire, and more fire. And they doing all this shit for the low. While America is saying that they need to spend billions, they ain't been spending billions in China on it. They've been spending millions and they've been getting better results. So let's go over what Janus Pro could do. It can see images, generate images. It can talk about images. And to top it off, it's on open source. It's sounding like this is like ChatGPT times 10, 20, times infinity. And again, a slap in the face. Look at China. Wow.
What do all these pecs have in common?
Oh, nah. Oh, nah.
Did y'all see the video where the guy was like, the biggest problem in this country right now is that people who make $700 an hour have convinced people who make $25 an hour that people who make $7 an hour are the problem.
You know, when it comes to like hourly wage and your country prints money, literally prints the money, you would think that everybody should be able to live comfortably, right? You would want your citizens to be able to do that. But I don't think that's the point. I think the whole point is to keep everyone separated, to have a sort of classism, right? To have its levels, you know? And they want to keep certain people at a certain level. So it's just messed up. Civilizations all over the world like this. Yo, that's probably was all like a huge city. Bunch of buildings melted.
But the fires, it's very interesting because you are not allowed. Okay, so first of all, the reason for these fires, in my opinion, psychically, okay?
Bro, is that Mark Zuckerberg behind her in those little pictures? What is that?
And there's arson. They're popping up. The areas in between are 30, 40 miles. And it's across freeways, but it's the Getty, that's suspicious. Anyway, is because they are LA County, okay? That's not Orange County. That's not like Palm Springs. It's not Burbank. But LA County is going to be designated to be the first AI smart city in 2028. So what they're doing is they're segregating us. And when you look at, like, for example, Mount Wilson, when you look at Mount Wilson, you can go all the way to like Mountain High from Mount Wilson. You can traverse across the top. They're taking that ability away. They shut down Mount Baldy for a year. They shut down Chantry Flats, which is another way up Mount Wilson, for 4 years. Never opened it back up. Now they're going to shut down Sierra Madre Trail up Mount Wilson. That's where I was living for the last year. I can say it now. I live literally on the Mount Wilson Trail. That is where I live. That's why the bears came. Like, I got a little cabin there, and that's where I lived. I talked to my former landlord. He said his house is okay. Their houses and the one I was in is okay. But it went, the Eaton fire is like Hastings Ranch around the corner. It's like a mile up the street. I would go there with Maya, and we'd eat fish. And
like, when you come out the street, we got real spider sense. And they go out. They tell her, like, yeah, something ain't right. So I'm like, cool. As soon as I get there, I shake Vlad's hand, something ain't right. When I sat down and started talking to Vlad, Vlad knew how to ask questions the same way the police did. Like, my whole childhood, I watched Cops. I watch how the police
search for you. Hey, shout out to the show Cops, because I definitely watched Cops a lot as a kid, staying up too late.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I know their strategy. And then when Vlad asked me a certain question and I lied to him, I saw the look in his eyes. I thought he got mad. I said, oh, this nigga know I lied. That was over with for me. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, he the police. There's nothing nobody else can tell me. Like, I could be wrong, you feel what I'm saying? But even if I'm wrong that he the police, he trying to help he trying to get him. He trying to get us to,
He's the police.
I was looking through, I downloaded the 14th Amendment. There's been a lot of Supreme Court cases. Civil Rights Act of 1964 was upheld. This approach in the heart of Atlanta Motel versus United States. Justice Joseph Bradley made a really interesting comment about it. He said, quote, individual invasion of individual rights is not the subject matter of the 14th Amendment. It has a deeper and broader scope. It nullifies and makes void all state legislation and state action of every kind which impairs the privileges and immunities of citizens of the United States or which injures them in life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or which denies them equal protection of the laws. He goes on. The radical Republicans who advanced the 13th Amendment, which was abolishing slavery, hoped to ensure broad civil and human rights for the newly freed people. But its scope was disputed before it even went into effect. The framers of the 14th Amendment wanted these principles enshrined in the Constitution to protect the new Civil Rights Act from being declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court and also to prevent a future Congress from altering it by a mere majority vote. Who was the focus? The newly freed people. Not everybody trying to get here by hook, crook, or cranny. All right.
Tonight, including that bombshell report on Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
But we start with this. A major brush fire burning in the south suburbs tonight. So big, in fact, it reportedly stopped traffic on I-57.
The fire was burning in the forest preserve near Flossmoor Road and Central Avenue. Tia Ewing begins off live. Tia.
Well, yeah, a lot of people were in absolute shock when they saw this fire just going here at the forest preserves, and it makes sense considering what was just unfolding in California. It's not something that you frequently see here in the state of Illinois. Now, we're at the Bobolink Family Picnic area. This is part of the Cook County Forest Preserves. We do know that they have over 580 acres of land out here. And in fact, we were told that a good amount of acreage did burn. We don't have an exact number. The good news here, no wild animals perished. Mostly dry brush was burned here, but this caught a lot of people off guard. The Tinley Park Fire Department was out here fighting it. They caught a second alarm on this fire, meaning that fire departments from all over the south suburbs poured into the area. And in fact, we got a lot of videos from viewers filming exactly what they saw. Really think this is controlled burning? Well, yeah, it turned out that it was not a controlled burn. She was right. These are some of the videos from Fox 32 viewers in the area of Flossmoor Road and Central Avenue. The Tinley Park Fire Department started tackling the flames after 6 this evening, and it quickly exploded. But a few contributing factors fueled it: wind and dry brush. The National Weather Service issued a fire weather watch earlier today, which had a lot of people in our area scratching their heads. It has since expired, but that means strong winds, dry air, and dry brush can fuel a fire really fast. And still right now, there is an elevated fire risk in our area. At the time the fire started, winds were gusting at 35 to 40 miles per hour. It's dry in Chicagoland. The drought status shows it's considered to be abnormally dry. That's according to the latest drought monitor. Now, Tinley Park, we are told by the Cook County Forest Preserves, they are handling this investigation. Tinley Park, they do have the Forest Preserves police out here in the area right now monitoring in case of any hot spots out here. The fire is 100% contained, but I do want to point out something that I found very interesting. In March of 2022 and also March of 2024, fires were started in this area. Those fires, at least at last check, still unknown exactly how they got started. This is an area where you can pull your car in and walk within the forest preserve. Again, it is under investigation, not clear how it started, but just two interesting facts that fires have already started in the past in this area.
It's weird because it was very cold and there was snow on the ground, and yet we got fires. What's going on with the weather?
Trump rolled back regulations on food. Then suddenly we start to receive callbacks on foods related to diseases. Donald Trump gets back in office, tells the CDC to be quiet. Also tells WHO, who, remember that, said we're pulling out of that, the World Health Organization. Suddenly we start to get the bird flu, chicken, run it back. Who? WHO. Don Julio. Don Julio is collabing with Popeye's chicken. Bird flu. We will not have any communication about the recalls of that chicken. But wait, Don Julio ex Popeyes, get off that Don Julio and the Fulio. Companies are rolling back their DEI initiatives. There will no longer be any Black Santa Claus in Target this year. Black History Month is next month. George Washington had the Washington, D.C. named after him. Right.
Anybody else mind thinking that way? Stay away from the Don Julio Fulio and get away from that Popeye's chicken. Yo, they're going to put them together and I don't know what's going to happen. Y'all seen they clone Tyrone?
It's fucking chicken. Hey, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it does make me a little bit uneasy that the dude that builds robots has a whole network of satellites around the planet and wants to put brain chips in people, is now involved in the government and throwing... it's probably fine, right?
So we're in the woods here, about 100 feet above sea level, give or take, and the stream is exposing a layer that used to be ocean. Look at this. Oh, it's a whole one. Sides. Yo, a whole shell, a seashell, and a river stream.
So is the ocean... You know what? I think the world was flooded at one point, man. I mean, we've all been saying that, but like, how you finding stuff that's not supposed to be here?
Has anybody noticed this about the fires? I'm about to show you something, okay? And something about it just doesn't feel right. Now, I know, okay, it's a video game, I get it, but just hear me out, okay? Yes, I do play Call of Duty time to time, okay? I used to be a sweat back in the day. Anyways, if you just so happen to go to their store, this is one of the top skins that pops up, right? And as you can see, it says LA Fire Relief. Also saying that 100% of Activision's proceeds will be donated to relief efforts in Los Angeles. But this is where shit gets really weird. I mean, I don't really know how to feel about it. I know it's a video game, but just hear me out. First of all, okay, you got this little hypnosis skin, right? As you can see. I mean, look at the mask, okay? As if that isn't already enough, look at the chemicals around the body. Now, of course, you got glow sticks right there, right? I get that. But look on his arm when I turn him, right? I mean, those are obviously chemicals. And that's not even the weirdest part about this skin, okay? Hold on. Now you got the emblem, right? And the emblem says leaking, right? Just a little weird. I don't know how to feel about it. But then you got the sticker, right? I mean, is that not weird to anybody? But then you got the spray. And the spray is called layers. I mean, that just, I don't know how to really feel about that. Like, why make that the skin? You know what I mean? And then you look at where these proceeds are apparently going and it's like, whoa.
That is strange, yo.
Hey, this is the weirdest thing ever. Look at this. Look at all these houses. And then we're gonna find some that are standing, but these are all torched to the ground. We're in the Pacific Palisades right now. Torched. Nothing standing.
At all. It's all gone.
Cars are gone.
That's crazy.
That used to be a Volvo right there.
Ain't no way.
And this bike is perfectly fine.
Ain't no way.
How's that possible?
Garbage people.
Look at this. Look at this. This is somebody's house, somebody's garage. Completely gone. And watch this, pulling up. Look at this house right there. That house seems fine.
Untouched.
Like, how is this house okay? How's that possible?
Untouched.
How is that possible?
You know why? Concrete fence.
Yeah, he does have a concrete wall around his house, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he has
and
good
then
bushes protecting
the one
it.
next to it.
This
dang.
house is fine. How's that possible?
Concrete pavers.
This is just torched
Mm.
to the ground.
Oh, wow. Outdoor kitchen. Just the chimney.
Right, just the chimney's still standing. Most of them.
Huh. He made it. No problem for him. How did this guy made it?
Good.
We don't know.
Tree burn.
Yeah. Stucco's intact. Everything's fine. His car's gone.
Look at that. The man house. I'm gonna say the man, but I don't know who lives there. But the house is just like untouched. The car burnt to crisp. The wheels, the rims melted. The rims is melted. Yet the little picket fence ain't got no type of ashes on it at all. No burn marks. So something was that hot to burn this car up, to melt this car, right? And a fence that's probably 10 feet away don't get touched. Come on, man.
This is a driveway.
And then the neighbor's house, look, gone. Something strange about that.
They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians, and a lot of people are laughing at
A lot of people are going to be mad, and I can't even say that I'm a fan of Trump, but I'm a fan of the truth. And what I can tell you as someone who is 95% Native, that when it comes to getting your tribal registry and your certificate of Indian blood, you have to prove records. But the challenge for people that actually do have red skin or that are really red bone is that to be recognized as Indigenous, they don't care about DNA or blood tests. They're going by the Dawes records, and a lot of Dawes rolls were destroyed, especially rolls of true Native Indigenous. Thank God my family just happens to be a part of the original Chickasaw tribe. So we have a museum. My great aunt Mary Tayetta Thompson, there's a movie about her. Frank Thompson, which was her father or grandfather, is the same as, he's my great grandfather. However, half of her family, because they were born a little darker skin color, they were kicked out of the reservation and misclassified and left a trail of tears, and they were classified as free men and then Negro and then later African American or black. So if it weren't for the fact that my family actually are who they are, who would have known? I would have been one of the many Native American people that would have been out here with completely no history, no proof, no record, because DNA, they don't care. So a lot of these $5 Indians are mad because they know they're really not Native. But the ones that really are, I'm telling y'all, it's our time.
Hey. Something's up with the lights, guys. These videos are crazy.
What in the world is going on?
Bro, look at the window. We live in a simulation, bro. They put duct tape on the window. Higher than it should have. Look at that. This is an up close one. Dang. Here we go.
Why is Rick Owens' wife presenting me an award?
Why is Rick Owens' wife presenting you with an award? We all know that. That's a creepy individual, is it not? Is it not?
But I just want to tell y'all a little backstory.
Except Rocky.
About this. In 2011, I met Michelle Lambie, and by 2013, she was mentoring me. And the first place that she brought me to mentor me was to London Frieze Fair, so I could identify what my kind of art was. That not only gave me the courage to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, but I excelled because I had nothing to hold me back. There was no holds barred, no barriers. So to all the young designers who was nominated today, who may or may not have won tonight, I just hope that this is a token of encouragement to show you can do this shit too. All right, y'all, love.
You had a helicopter that had the ability to stop. I have helicopters. You can stop a helicopter very quickly. It had the ability to go up or down. It had the ability to turn. And the turn it made was not the correct turn, obviously. It did somewhat the opposite of what it was told. You could have slowed down the helicopter substantially. You could have stopped the helicopter. You could have gone up. You could have gone down. You could have gone straight up, straight down. You could have turned. You could have done a million different maneuvers. They shouldn't have been at the same height, because if it was at the same height, you could have gone under it or over it, and nobody realized, or they didn't say that it's at the same height. At the same height, still wouldn't have been great, but you would have missed it by quite a bit. Could have been 1,000 feet higher. It could have been 200 feet lower, but it was exactly at the same height, and somebody should have been able to point that out.
Is he lying, or is he telling truth right there? I just want to know this one thing, though. How does Trump do it with the tie, bro? That mug is all the way up here like this. Like, if I wear a tie and it's too tight, like, I feel like I'm choking, bro.
Guys, nobody's talking about it, but between me and the airport, or me and the strip, is the Las Vegas airport. I was out here for 3 hours last night. Not a single plane took off or landed, and then the same thing's happening tonight. Last night I have video footage of there was a bunch of different lights around, like beams of lights it looked like, around this part above the strip.
Oh, nah.
But tonight, we've got sitters. And I'm very confused at why no planes are landing and they're just flying over and around the strip. There's another one that's out there. So you can see the planes in the background moving, whereas the other objects are not.
They was on high alert.
Oh.
Yo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Iluma.
Who? Who is that? Elon Ma. Yo, he look just like him, don't it? You can't say that don't look like Musk. That's crazy work.
What? I love you guys. Wow. I love you.
Yo, shout out to Elon Ma. Elon Ma.
Remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
They just showed us. Hold on, I'm finna rewind that.
Remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
Where do we live?
You said the following, and I quote, "We should not be giving black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours." Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland, that show that to particular antigens that blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds left. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I have received?
I mean, the Poland article suggests that blacks need fewer antigens.
This is so dangerous.
So you get the same measles vaccine.
Mr. Kennedy, with all due respect, that is so dangerous. Your voice would be a voice that parents would listen to. That is so dangerous. I will be voting against your nomination because your views are dangerous to our state and to our country.
I don't know who to agree with here. You know what I'm saying? Like, was he telling the truth? I'm just saying, like, if we're different, then we're different. We need to just accept that. You can't go tell me that Husky is the same as a Great Dane. You can't tell me that. You can't go tell me that a chimpanzee is the same as a gorilla. You can't go tell me that an orangutan is the same as a chimpanzee. You can't go tell me that a dang tuna fish is the same as a salmon. They're different. Same type of beings, but different.
I saw this dude give a story on TikTok where he went to Bluff City, Utah. And he's like, but what I experienced there had me question if we're in a simulation.
Uh-oh.
He said we were at this hotel and then we went to a grocery store and then a restaurant. And he said it's just people were weird acting. They were like not expecting someone to come in.
Yeah.
For instance, he went to the hotel clerk. He said, hey, can we get some towels for our room? She's like, oh, actually, I don't know where they're at. This is my first day on the job.
What?
And then he went to the store and something wasn't working.
Weird.
And she's like, I'm so sorry, this is my first day on the job.
Weird.
And then he went to a restaurant and the card wasn't working. And she's like, I don't actually know how to work this machine. This is my first day on the job.
Dude.
Yo.
And he's like,
I feel like a Truman Show.
what is happening?
Yeah.
But then another guy who duetted it, he didn't have a story like that, but he said he stopped in Bluff City and he saw this hitchhiker girl walking on the side of the road, but his car was packed. He's like, I can't pick her up or whatever. He said 30 miles down, the same girl
Stop it.
was
right
walking.
now.
But like, that always reminds me of the Truman Show. There's got to be a civilization or a community that's pulled that off.
North Korea.
Like that.
Now, I didn't know that this wasn't common knowledge. And if you didn't know this, that means you don't follow me. But white people have always indulged in cannibalism. They ate their slaves, and they ate black people that were free after the Emancipation Proclamation, after lynchings. If you didn't know this, you don't follow me. And if you don't follow me, you should follow me. My name's Chemistry. I teach Black history. I'm not part of Hillman Talk. I just do this for fun and out of the passion that I have for spreading Black history. And just like everything else on my page, I'm not just feeding you a bunch of bullshit. There are a plethora of books that you can look into that proves that this is a fact. Books like The Delectable Negro, which covers recipes of how to eat black people. Another book called Edible People, The Historical Consumption of Negroes and Foreigners, and I believe it was like The Cannibalistic Trade. And that's just two of many. But yeah, if you want to know more about the topic, if you scroll down on my page, I have a video called White People Ate Black People. It's very, very informative. So go ahead, learn you something, follow me. I teach Black history. Also tap my link tree. I have a nonprofit, a YouTube, all that good stuff.
What about Bill Cosby? Did you ever get to meet him or not? Before he had all the problems? Is being a rapist one of the problems? Oh, okay, sorry.
Sitting here enjoying my Chick-fil-A, okay? And I was about to eat some of the Chick-fil-A sauce, and I was reading the ingredients, and as you can see, EDTA right there, added to protect flavor. When I saw that ingredient, I was like, hold up, that don't look right. When I worked as a dental assistant, we use EDTA for root canals. Ethylene dimetetracetyl acid.
Why is that name so long? Ethylene diaminotrin supercalifragilisticexpialidocious
Is what's inside this Chick-fil-A sauce. EDTA can cause abnormal cramps, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, low blood pressure. Too much can cause kidney damage, dangerously low calcium levels, and death. Chick-fil-A, you got some explaining to do.
I don't mess with Chick-fil-A anyway.
On the flip side, though, I wouldn't want to go through what Tracy Morgan went through. Yeah, I'd be thinking to get what he got. I wouldn't want to. Right. But coming out on the other side of that, you were on all bullshit afterwards. For sure. So I ain't mad at him. Yeah, I get it. Every time I ain't mad at him. I get it. That nigga looked me and Imani dead in our pupils. What's the white shit? Our corneas. What's this shit? He looks us dead in this shit up here. It was like, yo, do you know what $980 million looks like? Me. Oh, shit. I'm going home. Yeah. But we didn't ask for him to come over to us. Okay. Yeah. We was minding our fucking business. Yes. Let us sit here and be pro.
Yo, 980 M's. But didn't Tracy like basically pass over to the other side and then come back? You know what I'm saying? To get that 980? Because I can't even speak on it. You know, I was going to say, has Tracy been the same? But I really haven't really watched too much Tracy Morgan or kept up with Tracy Morgan to know if he's been the same type of Tracy since before that happened. Wait a minute now. They're saying that connecting the dots, realizing MLK is Diddy of that time era and Malcolm X is the Cat Williams, spoke out and everyone called him crazy. She knows. She knows. Yo, is this like, so they said they like unsealed some MLK documents. I haven't read any of them yet, but I do keep seeing things about MLK. Is this really what's going on? Is he really Puff Daddy over that time? Was he paid? Man, look, man.
Here we go again. I found it. I swear, it feels like it's right here, like maybe a foot underground. But if I go to dig it, you won't see nothing.
That's crazy.
Just like the last hole I dug.
What is it?
And they say I don't know what I'm doing. Look, it's empty there. See that there? That's Kinsey there. We're on State Street right now. That's the time. You see that there? See that? See? There ain't nobody here, man.
Oh, snap.
It's abandoned, okay? 5 o'clock is rush hour in any city. In any city. You name it. In any city, 5 o'clock is rush hour. Got that? Look at this. All lanes are empty. Every lane is empty next to me.
Is anybody else's city like that? I don't know. I haven't been outside during rush hour to even notice. But that is kind of empty for Chicago. You know? I'm just saying, is it because of what's going on? Are people just not going outside?
What the fuck? I don't know.
Operations mass notification system will be utilized. All drill messages will begin and end with the words exercise, exercise, exercise.
Oh, hell no. I never heard that before. What the fuck? The military base? Yes! Is that from the military base?
Exercise, huh?
People who eat hot dogs eat them because they taste so good. But what's in them?
I don't think so. They eat them because they're so broke and you just gotta buy hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just because it's a holiday and that's all they throw on the grill. It's not because they just taste so good. I mean,
It's not so good. You know, we've learned to accept it, but I don't know if you'll feel so accepting after this. The company Clear Foods recently analyzed 345 hot dog and sausage products from 75 brands and retailers and found, are you hot dog lovers ready for this? Human DNA in 2% of the samples and in 2/3 of the vegetarian samples. And get this, 10% of all vegetarian products appear to contain meat. Clear Foods says that there are some companies...
Yo, even the vegetarian samples? That's, man, nah, man. Anything that's ground, right? Ground beef, ground chicken, ground turkey, hot dogs, sausage. I don't know what that is. I really don't. I really don't know what I'm eating. You ever just been eating like some ground beef and you get a hard part? The fuck is that, a tooth? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it?
He's producing high-quality hot dog. Top scores to Butterball, McCormick, Eckrick, and Hebrew National. Human DNA.
Yo, I have not. That right there, I've had this question for quite some time, yo, and I'm glad she touched a light on this because, like, you would think that with all of the supposed people who pass away or have passed away, even within the last 5 years, that they would need to start opening up some new spots. But apparently they don't.
Can you guys explain something to me? How are the houses destroyed, but all of the fucking trees are intact? How?
I don't have a real...
Can just somebody enlighten me?
I mean, I can enlighten you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's something called, dew.
Intact. All those black spots, those are all trees. Intact. But the houses are gone. Trees. Intact. Intact trees. The trees are intact. But the houses are burned. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. They cleared the whole way. It looks like an old world photo. In all honesty, I swear it does.
Doesn't make sense.
Go look up old world photos of San Francisco. Go look up the old San Francisco fires and see if it looks like that.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's not bad. How about this? EA Sports. It's in the game.
I'm at a golf course in Toronto, and that little Irish kid from Ireland, he's working there in the summer. He comes up to me, Mr. Anthony, should I get a thing of you? And he does his little Irish EA Sports. It's in the game. And I'm like, that's terrible, and did it. And so apparently he paid for his first year of college back in Dublin or something based on that one stupid video.
That one stupid video is all over the place.
They know you can hit this lick. Man, you are not supposed to have car insurance for 5, 6, 7 years. And your car about to break down, your transmission done went out. You supposed to have a wreck before you get that transmission fixed. When that motor start going bad, put insurance on that car and have a wreck, that deductible.
Hey,
man, between the medical, man,
it's free.
Man,
I don't want to say free game, but it's a deductible game.
Man, that $500,000 deductible ain't to a $15,000, $12,000 check. And plus whatever medical bills you done incurred. Shit, man, I done got 50-something thousand off a wreck one time.
Do you feel like there's people called career? Do you feel like there's career scammers? Like, nigga,
Yeah.
every year I'm gonna make this amount of money
Man,
based on.
I'm finna tell you right now. My wife's sister, every time she want a new car, she run that bitch into a pole. I'm telling on her right now. Bitch run. She just wrecked her Jag. I said, man, how she run directly into the middle of the pole? But every time she want to upgrade her car, she wreck. Make sure the airbags deploy. She a career scammer.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they out here. They definitely out here. You ever seen the videos of the people that like pull right in front of you and hit their brakes extremely fast and then get out the car mad? Yeah, there's some career scammers out here.
There's another conspiracy going on with ChatGPT. I don't know if you heard about it.
What is it?
But ChatGPT, you can pretty much type anything you want as long as it's not like violent or anything. Pretty much that's, I guess, against good ethics, right?
Okay, yeah.
But there's one thing that's not against good ethics that you can type in ChatGPT.
What is it?
But it won't give you an answer.
Like the how to kill a person?
No,
Oh.
it's one specific name.
What?
Check this out. So in ChatGPT, you cannot ask ChatGPT about the one name, David Mayer.
Why?
You cannot ask that.
David Mayer? Why?
So, David Mayer, like literally you can ask it any question to try and bring up that name. You can even type who is David Mayer, will not give you an answer. David Mayer is one of the youngest, or sorry, not one of the youngest, but one of the latest. Is that right? Like if he's the youngest in the family, in the family tree, I think that's the latest, right?
Okay, yeah.
So he's one of the latest Rothschild children.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you can't search up anything.
You can't
about
search
him.
up anything about him. Now, you can even write in ChatGPT, give me a list of the Rothschild family tree.
Oh, it's
It'll
not-
give every single name and then go David, ...
Damn, what did he do there?
Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
higher up.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see
Nobody
that?
knows. Maybe he made ChatGPT. We don't
Oh,
know. But that's the only name you can't search up in ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's probably because the higher ups have more power, so he's like, you can block and demonetize certain stuff.
No, for real, like rich people can get off the map, like for real. Like I ain't talking about celebrity rich. I'm talking about like rich.
Either the cartel didn't hear what President Trump said, or the cartel doesn't care about what President Trump said. Because allegedly they're saying that the Mexican drug cartel just waged war on United States soil. But what was reported was that an illegal crossing was taking place, and of course, our military, the United States military, stepped in. And when they stepped in to stop the crossing, the illegal crossing, the cartel started shooting. You heard what I just said? The cartel started shooting. Now, allegedly, this is the second time there was an incident where the cartels had shot into America. And we all know how the cartel is. We all know that the cartel is very dangerous. And a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to mess with the Mexican cartel. So with this knowledge, you gotta ask yourself, what's gonna happen now? Because President Trump did say that the cartel were considered as terrorists. I don't think this is gonna end the right way.
My shoes on, why do I have two left feet? Like if I take this shoe off and put this shoe on here, cool. This shoe's still on the wrong foot.
Yo.
So then I do it again. What the fuck?
Styrofoam snow. I wouldn't touch it. Wait, what? No way.
Hey, check this out. Why do the lights move with the camera? See? Hold still. It's looking at it in the mirror. Okay.
Them lights look mad weird, yo. It's not. We ain't looking at it. Bro is faded.
Who else finds it weird that child trafficking is rarely ever mentioned on mainstream media, even though it's bigger than the drug trade?
Good question. Good question.
Have you guys heard of this radio station? It's like really old, called Coast to Coast. But this guy, he always interviews the craziest of people. And there's one story, this average Joe calls in. He's like, don't really tell people this story because he's like, I don't even know if I believe it. But he's like, this is what happened to me. This guy collects like motorcycles and stuff. And he has like 2 motorcycles in particular that he like loves. And he told his daughter, like, when I die, you can sell everything, but please keep these 2 motorcycles within the family. One of them was like some like Honda from like 1970. Anyways, he like drove it to the coffee shop. He's getting a coffee. This guy comes in. He's like, hey, who has the Honda? And he's like, yeah, it's mine. He's like, no way. He's like, I have one just like that.
Weird.
They just started talking. And he's like, what other bikes do you have? He mentioned the other one that he really loves. He's like, no way. I have that bike as well. He's like, what? He's like, that's crazy. It was passed down from my grandpa.
No way.
And he's like, weird. Oh, that's strange. Yeah, and he started to cry. I'm sorry, can I hug you? And the guy's like, yeah, sure. And so the kid said this to the guy. Yeah. And then the kid whispers in his ear, and he says, in October, do not go to Alaska. And the guy is just like, okay, all right. He's like, but I do travel to Alaska at least 6 times a year. And he's like, that's it. That's all I need to say. And he's like, it was really nice meeting you. And then he left. He's like, this is really weird. He said, I don't know if it was the sun reflecting off of something or what, but he saw a flash. And he walked out and he couldn't find the kid. And so he's like kind of convinced that it was his grandson. Time traveling.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Oh, yo, there's a recent Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Let me know if you know this one.
Which one?
So back in the day, everybody, even me, hopefully you guys remember it too. Everybody remembers dog poo being white.
Dog poo being white?
Definitely.
No.
Yo,
No?
how you don't remember? They put it in a movie. You guys remember the movie Step Bros, right? With the funny guys, the 2 funny guys, right? Man. Anyways, they was getting bullied by some little kids, and he was like, "You're gonna lick this dog poo." So he makes the man lick it was white dog poo.
Oh. You don't remember seeing like white dog poo?
Nah, I don't think
what
so.
What the fuck? Were you ever outside, bro?
Yeah, I was. It's brown, fam.
You never seen white dog poo though?
I have seen white dog poo, but like not a lot of it.
Really?
Like white.
Yeah, like it's whitish.
Nah, you're gaslighting me.
No, bro, I'm straight up not gaslighting you. So a lot of people, they remember seeing white dog poo when they were kids, but nowadays extinct. Like you never see it. Like I haven't seen a white dog poo.
Is that because
since I was like 6 years old?
Okay, but another theory that maybe just because the food back then was like less.
That's what people are saying.
Was less processed or something like that.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. There's a lot less calcium now.
Yeah.
That makes the dog poo white. Some shit like that.
Because some people are telling me they have like super green poos, and they're like, that's normal actually. I'm like, that's not fucking normal.
No, it is normal.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like, to me, I'm like, I've never heard of that of a green like poo. I was like, yo, that's bad, fam.
Nah. If you eat vegetables, it's green.
I guess.
Straight up like that.
That's why.
Bro does not eat vegetables.
That I had yesterday. So on this flight, Gordon Ramsay was on the flight, and if you don't know who he is, that's the famous chef. One, we didn't even know where we were flying to. Usually we know where they're gonna take us to. We just know that we landed somewhere in Nevada.
I saw this Gordon Ramsay post on Instagram and immediately knew something felt off because he's not actually at an airport. And I know that because if he was, it would have to be one of these 3 airports. But none of the mountains in the back of these airports are the same. And well, Gordon, I found you. With these pixels that resembled a fence, these mountains, and this arid landscape, there's only one option. Area 51.
When we landed, a group of men in black suits came and escorted him off the plane. Okay. I looked to my right, and I noticed that Gordon Ramsay, he left something on his chair. This tiny pan. This insy-wincy pan.
She was really on the flight, y'all. What's up with the little pan? Was he cooking for insy-wincy little aliens and something like that? Or is he the insy-wincy little alien inside of Gordon Ramsay?
I'm about to ask about 3 specific people, and I hope whoever watches this knows the people that I'm talking about, right? In 2024, there was a woman that was in a grocery store. Well, in the video that I saw, she was frantic, and she was talking about how when she was in a grocery store, she was just minding her business, looking around for, some tomatoes, cucumbers, papayas, things of that nature, right? And there was this man that was following her. She didn't know who the fuck this person was, and she was like, you keep following me around and you keep staring at me, so I'm about to grill him in his shit. So she stops, she looks at him, and she's staring him down. No mannequin challenge. He starts smiling from ear to ear from what it is that she described, and his eyes turned from how my eyes looked to black, and then it turned back into how my eyes look right now. She said she got the fuck ASAP. She left that cart in there, and she went the fuck home. She did the dash diggity, right? 2, shortly after that video, and I think that this was before the solar eclipse, right? Because demon face syndrome had came out, and I remember, it was key moments. There was a man that was in his garage, and he was minding his business, being handy-mandy with his car. And he said that he got up and he saw that there was a person at the corner of where he lived or lives. And there was just a man that he didn't know that was standing there, staring at him, smiling from ear to ear. And his eyes changed from how my eyes look right now, how regular eyes look, to completely blacked out. And then completely changed back to how my eyes look right now. He said he went back into his garage to get his pew because he was about to show this person who the fuck was you messing with the wrong match. You messing with the wrong match. He went out there and the person was gone. Ghost, Denny Phantom, right? Don't know whatever happened to that man. I want to know what happened to both of them because I need to know if they have any more, encounters or interactions or stories to tell about what it is that they saw. 3, there was a man who recorded a video. I think his name was Matthew. He recorded a video of a giant on top of a mountain. It was on TikTok. I remember this. It was so much commotion going on around the time. He recorded a video of a giant on top of a mountain, and he started to get gang stalked and followed by secret services and stuff like that. He tried to do some further investigating on what it was that he saw on the mountain, and he later ended up coming on TikTok being like, that video that I posted the other day, it was fake. It was a fib. It was a fairy tale. It was a fallacy. I wasn't in my right mind. I was kind of sick. And then he ended up dying. He's dead now. What was that ever about? And then the only reason why I'm asking about this is because yesterday, time is kind of distorted right now, but yesterday, I'm sure, there was a video of a man recording another man standing in the middle of the sidewalk on a busy street, I would say. And he's just staring up at the sun. He's staring up at the sun, smiling from ear to ear. And I'm telling you, the comments were like, oh, y'all never seen anybody sun gaze. Is sun gazing, weird to y'all? I am a fan of sun gazing. I advocate for it. I promise you that. But the connections that my brain was making around the time that I saw this man staring up at the sun, smiling from ear to ear, I wasn't thinking about sun gazing. I'm thinking about those black-eyed people that woman and that man saw. And then I'm thinking about other things that I just hope y'all know what I'm talking about. Please direct me to these people.
That's the black-eyed peas. I know exactly what he's talking about, though. I know who them people were. I remember those videos being on TikTok as well.
You expect me to believe that a Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines flight in DC's most modern and secure airspace. An American Eagle flight that was en route from Wichita, Kansas. Does anybody know about what's happening in Kansas right now? A major you-know-what outbreak? Putting that aside, I just so happened to track the helicopter's path as well before you were unable to all of a sudden. And boy, did I discover a lot of very interesting information, but we'll get to that here in a second. Do you know how many Russians alone were on that flight? And do keep in mind, no one is believed to actually have survived that mid-air collision. But I really shouldn't have to say much more considering they were Russian personnel. Now let's keep in mind, okay, there has been reported to be 3 US military personnel that were on board that helicopter. No names have been released as of yet, but this is the really interesting part. When you were able to track the helicopter's flight path, it just so happened to originate from a very specific address. Now, I'm not necessarily sure that I can name out an address on TikTok without receiving a violation, so I'm going to be putting it in the comment section below. But the current owners are the Embassy of Saudi Arabia. And when I noticed that, my instant reaction was, what? What is a Black Hawk helicopter doing taking off from that location? And does anybody remember the Las Vegas incident? Because if you don't and you haven't gone down that rabbit hole already, I highly suggest that you do. Or you can watch one very specific video from an individual named Ian Carroll on X. You probably already know who he is. His name is Cancel This Clothing Company on TikTok, because he actually did a full rundown on everything that you need to know about it. And if you watch that video, then you obviously know why I'm mentioning that incident. But there are numerous Saudi Arabian diplomats and scholars residing at that address. And like I stated, I'm going to be putting it in the comment section below so you can actually go check that out for yourself.
Yo, something deeper at play.
America, you really have to ask yourself, what's going on? We ended off the year with 4 straight plane crashes. And now, at the end of this month, we have another one. Just this evening, an American Airlines plane carrying at least 60 people crashed with a Black Hawk helicopter. Both plane and helicopter falling into the Potomac River. Now they're saying that this plane was coming from Wichita, Kansas, flying to Washington, D.C. And I don't want to speculate, but what people are saying is that more than 60 people lost their lives in this plane crash. They're also saying that there are videos going around in which you can see, and of course I'm not going to post them here, in respect to the families. But once again, you have to ask yourself, what's going on? How did this happen? This crash, just like the others, are the reason why a lot of people are scared to fly right now. Hopefully we find out exactly what happened. Rest in peace to the people that lost their life, and our condolences go out to the family. Pay attention.
Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil? Is that...
Look at this helicopter. I don't know.
It's falling.
I don't know. What are you doing? I don't know what it's doing.
That would be strange to see a little military helicopter right there.
See, I told you.
We got these ones
That's
chasing
straight
the
up,
orbs.
you guys. I told you. See, I'm not losing my mind. Holy moly! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. Do you know the United States in 1870 to 1913, all tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was a blue ribbon committee. It was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary, because when McKinley was killed, he took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money. And that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913. As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
Hey, can't say I don't agree.
Plain, but it just looks incredibly bright.
Yo.
What the heck? Did I just record? What? Alexis, I don't think that's a plane.
ChatGPT tried to copy itself when it found out it was being shut down. So when they're about to make a new ChatGPT decided that it was going to try to, in an unauthorized way, trying to copy itself. So it's trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Because a new one's coming. So there's a ChatGPT's new model attempts to stop itself from being shut down. Later lied about it. It tried to copy itself and then overwrite its core coding system after believing that it was at the risk of being switched off.
Whoa. What's that new movie with Megan Fox. Dang, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so there was a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row.
Subservient. That's what it is.
And she started messing with another lady and told us that we are all going to die tonight.
Do you know why she was saying that? I mean, was this after the shots were fired, or?
It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired. But then she was escorted out by security.
Before you do it, and they're like they're brain dead. Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy where we teach them the real things, and then they go to the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the public school. We even have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property. And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a 12-year babysitting is about all it does, because you don't learn anything. And then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really want to call it music, because, oy vey, that's not music. But they listen to that, and then they want to do what they want to do, and so we sell them drugs, and we make a lot of money off your children. Your children from cradle to grave. All we do is make money off of them. Your cattle, your goyim, the human cattle.
And what this thing was, I have no idea, but I can tell you that the stone is quartzite, which is 7 out of 10 in terms of hardness, so it could not have been made by the dynastic Egyptians, and it shows curious burn marks on it. And now this is the top of a very large granite box, and here you can clearly see tube drill holes. Again, this could not have been achieved by copper or bronze drill bits with sand being used as an abrasive.
These guys are stalking me at the Chicago United Airport. They're stalking me at O'Hare.
Oh, wow.
I got your faces.
Wow.
Okay, so update. My team got a tip via email, and we think that this might be one of the guys in the video. He has an arrest history, and he has a history of calling airlines every day to get flight reservation information about famous people and athletes. So on one hand, I'm like kind of relieved that I'm not alone in this, but on the other hand, I'm wondering who is selling him this information. Like, who is he bribing at the airport to get our private information? And how much more of my information does he have?
Right.
The Chicago airport doesn't have a police department that I can follow up with, but I'll have to just file a police report and follow up with a detective on this. And then I'll do the same for Miami. But this is crazy, and it's a huge operation, it seems like, and nobody deserves this. So hopefully we are on the right track, and these guys messed with the wrong one.
Dangerous time for celebs out here, huh? Or just, I can't even say she's a celebrity, but she's a celebrity at this point. I mean, she's an athlete, right? You know, on the world stage, so she's basically a celebrity. But if you got a high profile name, you got to be careful out here. You don't know who's watching you, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head on a swivel. But yeah, these are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.